Hello, welcome to Coffee Talk with immigration attorney Brian D. Lerner. So, what time of year is it again? It is H-1B time, and it's just about to open up. If you qualify, you need to get ready to rock and roll and have the H-1B packet and petition ready to go. And there's lots of work for an H-1B. Some people think that the H-1B, you just snap your fingers and boom, you have a petition together. But, there's the LCA, there's the attorney cover letter, the necessary forms, declarations, there's the exhibits, there's the qualification, there's all kinds of stuff that you need in order to properly do an H-1B. Now, given that I just said that, there is about a 20 to 25% chance of getting picked for the lottery. That means that there's a 75 to 80% chance that you won't get picked. So there's a lot higher chance you won't. So you can't put all your eggs in the H-1B basket and think you're good to go. Especially if your status is about to end, and especially if you have no other alternatives. Now, people always ask me, well, if they don't get picked, what other alternatives exist? And one of them, and this depends on your experience, is the O1. Okay, now the O1 is referred to as the extraordinary alien petition, and for the most part it wouldn't be my first choice in applying for an H-1B. However, if you don't get picked for the H-1B and you're going to run out of status and you have to do something, then the O1 might be an option if you have a few years of experience prior to coming to the U.S. There's all kinds of other visas too. For example, you could continue to go to school or change status to F1 and go to school. A lot of times people go to school, they're already on F1, they get OPT, and then they want to switch to H-1B. So that's the normal path. But if it doesn't fit for you and you don't get picked, then you have to look at other alternatives. If you're from Mexico or Canada, instead of the H-1B, you might be able to try the TN. If you're from Australia, you might be able to try the E3. If you're from a treaty country, you might be able to do the E2 if you have money to invest in your own business. And again, it might not be your first choice, but if your other choice is to either go out of status or have to leave the country to where there's no jobs, period, then opening up your own company under an E2 might be the best way to go. There's also, if you happen to be religious and have a church that wants to sponsor you, you might be able to get an R1. If you do have to leave and you don't get picked and there's no other alternatives, you still can have a company petition you for the PERM. That will be for lawful permanent residency, and you could be anywhere on the planet and have the PERM progressing and proceeding forward while you are not here. So it will at least minimize the time that you have to stay out. And the PERM's for the green card. So you have the PERM, and then you do the I-140, and then from there you do consulate processing. So that, of course, is a way. And I'm not going to mention the obvious, if you happen to fall madly in love with a U.S. citizen, of course you can adjust status on that basis. But for the H-1B, a couple things. Even if you get picked for the lottery, even if you're the lucky one that gets the 20-25% and gets picked, that doesn't mean it's approved. Don't confuse being chosen to have your H-1B adjudicated with having it approved. Once it has been chosen to, be in the pile to be adjudicated, then what will happen is you'll probably get an RFE, a request for evidence, saying we need this and that and this and that, and it just depends. So, be prepared to have a good, solid H-1B that is prepared before you submit it, because it would be a shame if you got selected for the lottery and then got it denied. Okay, so there's a lot of work you have to do to move forward. Okay, well, the H-1B lottery is opening up in a matter of weeks, so be ready. You got to have it ready and packaged and sent the very day it opens, because believe it or not, within days it'll close up. And then also the H-1B for master's degrees, which there's another 20,000, that lasts a little bit longer, but not much longer. So be ready to go. Okay, if you like the video, click like, subscribe, and more on the coming weeks. Okay.